All right, let's make sure we are going live here. Refreshing my, there we are. Good. Let me check, make sure I'm coming through perfectly through StreamYard. Yep, perfect. Excellent. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Hey, good morning. I got a hello from USA Gio Jimbo, USA Geo Jimbo. I think I, I killed that one. Good morning. So let's see who else is here. People are slowly coming in. Yep. People slowly coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, share where you're from and what the weather is like in your area. Okay, we're going to get rocking and rolling here in about a couple of minutes. Give everybody a little time to kind of jump in. We always get a lot of late people jumping in late too. So we'll be a little patient. We got a fun one today. We're gonna finish up our phaser that we started last week. We gotta do the we worked on the type 2 phaser last week. We've got the type 1 this week. Probably a little more details into the type 2, and then we will go on and do the type 1 phaser. It's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. Good morning, everybody. Everybody's jumping in now. Great to see everyone. And if you want to share anything live, I'm going to grab the link to jump onto StreamYard. Okay. All right. I'm going to type this in now to share live. Paste the link and let's go to chat. All right. Got that right there. All right. So if anybody wants to share live, you're welcome to come on board and join us. Good morning. We got a lot of fun today. Got a lot of fun things to do. In Blender's progression. As a matter of fact, let's go check out and see. Let me share my screen. Let's go check out and see what's new in Blender. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share my entire screen. And I'm going to go grab my Blender section right about there. Okay. All right. So we got work to do still on this phase. We're going to start up where we left off last week. We should pretty much complete most of it. We'll see. Let's go in. I want to go check out and see what's going on at the Blender Foundation real quick. So let's go take a quick look. So let's see. Blender. Is that the .org? Let's see. Blender. I'm misspelling it here. That should be animation in Blender. Here, I'll just go .org. Just spell it out. Okay, let's go to downloads and see if there's any new updates. All right, let's click the download button. Okay, 5.1.2. So that was the one they released last week. So if you guys didn't get that, definitely go check that out. All right, 5.1.2. If I go down to the experimental section, and in beta is 5.2. So gosh, that might be one to go ahead and give a try. The betas I don't do the alphas. I don't have time. I'll go and I'll play around with the betas. When it becomes a release candidate, right? Then we should get to 5.2 pretty soon. So this might be one to kind of play around with. And I've been looking at some of the videos. Now, if you're not aware, we have an official Discord right? Let me go get the Discord real quick. I have it in the background here. And there's Discord right there. So we've got a Discord channel. So if you are not on Discord, I'm going to copy the link for you to come on board now, invite to server, and I will go copy the link, and I'm going to put it into the Twitch chat box. All right, and I will paste it there and hit enter. All right, so right there is our official Discord link. So there's a lot of little channels in here that I've created. You got the announcements. The Blender Foundation posts here often. You can see their stuff up here that they're posting on the new versions of Blender. I think the 5.2 is here. Matter of fact, I was watching that the other day. If you go to the general, the Blender Foundation also posts the same thing there. This is where we all get to chat with one another. Right here in the general area, you can see some of the previous chats from a lot of my students or just from Blender enthusiasts asking questions and all that stuff. You'll see stuff from classes that I'm doing currently. And you can kind of check out what my students are doing. It's kind of fun. So there you go. You got the link to join on. I'm gonna drink some water here. Got to keep drinking and get dehydrated while you're talking. All right, so now let's go back. So be aware, new updates are coming up from the Blender Foundation. All right, making progress on our phaser. We got a little bit of work here to do. Now over here to the side, I have another screen, another view that I kind of split this in half. There's my preview, and I've got my other previews up here as well. So right up here in the little box, I thought I had put other ones up here. Let me see what this is. Okay, those are the reference images there. Okay, and I've got other views of this. Now what I can do is I'm going to go open them. I'm just going to go to the image menu, go to open. This jumps back to my phaser folder that this file is saved in. So whenever you create a new file in the folder for your client, make sure you save the file automatically to that location. So that way it automatically opens when you want to import images or any of that stuff. Okay, let's kind of bring this on back. All right, so I've got my phaser images. Let's just go double click that one there. I've got a bunch here. Let's look at another view. In fact, I've got this view there, and I'm going to also choose, I believe, probably this view here. I'm going to bring on this one as well. Okay, and I'm going to go open all images. So now if I come up here to this little image symbol at the very top, so this window is my image view. So right up here is the image editor is what I'm in currently. So if I drop this down there, all my images are just imported in. So I can just switch at will. All right, I can switch around at will. I got a little. Come over here and erase that away. So yeah, so this is handy. So I'm going to open it up from time to time, just to do a little bit of an inspection. And let's go to work. We got to add detail to our nozzle here. So I'm going to go pull this on back. Let's go get a view of the nozzle, and I believe that will be that one right there. Right, we need this detail. I'm going to change the emitter also because in Canon, the reference I was using, I'm going to turn on the references here just so that we can remind ourselves what we had to work with. The references, and I was going by the reference. The reference, in fact, it might be a good idea. I'm going to place all of my objects representing my phaser here up here in my outliner. Okay, my 3D outliner, layer outliner. I'm going to select everything, the body, the emitter, the handle, the nozzle, and I'm going to hit the M key, and I'm going to put that into its own collection. Basically, a folder is all it is. So I'm going to name that folder phaser and click create. Okay, there we go. So that I can turn that off on at will, everything on and off at will. Makes it a lot more convenient. Command Shift S, and I'm going to save this as Twitch number 2. All right, because this is the second session we're working on for this particular model. All right, so there we go. Okay, so I'm organized there. So if I turn the phaser off, if you take a look at the reference that I was using, I'm gonna go to the side view. It's basically beveled or a little bit of a slight angle. And in Canon, it's not what the nozzle does. Canon is completely flat, straight flat. In fact, we'll see it here. It's completely straight and flat. So I'm gonna go correct that because I'm going to get anal about this now. So let's bring back our phaser. Let's go to the nozzle. I'm going to select the nozzle. Go to edit mode, tab key edit mode. Come on back to here to my shear and just shear it on back. Right about there. Okay, so I'm in orthographic view for the shear command. So it's really important that you work in orthographic view because it becomes really easy to shear your edges or your points. It becomes real easy. So if you're not, you're gonna have a hell of a time. It's gonna be shearing in 3 dimensions, and you don't want. You want to. I wanted to shear it in 1 dimension. So if I rotate it around, we're good. So I'm done. Get out of there. And there's something else that we need to do. And that little thing is that base. I want to be like it to be a little bit wider. So I've got an actual phaser here in front of me. I shared that I talked about that last week, and I'll just hold it up real quick so you can see it on the screen. So I've got an actual 3 dimensional one that I can reference, and I think I can make the back end a little bit larger. So I'm gonna go back to edit mode here. I'm gonna hit the X-ray, which is Alt Z, and I'm gonna come over here, grab these faces here, and I'm gonna hit Control plus on the numeric side of the keyboard to bring the edit all of this all the way down here like so. That should be okay. All right, get out of X-ray mode, and I'm going to hit the S key for scale and just bring it up like that. Okay, that works. Yeah, that's better. All right, just a few little corrections from last week. All right, so one more correction I want to do. Let's go to the top view. This top portion here, let me kind of rotate it just a little bit. Let me pull it on back, pull it back down. All right, I'm gonna rotate it up. So this is very straight. If we look at the angle of this, the angle is correct, but what's not correct is that this is actually a slight little curve. It's a slight little curve, and I'm going to simulate that next. So we're going to grab the body. In fact, I'm going to lock down the references so I don't go accidentally selecting them again. I'm going to select the body. Okay. Go to my edit mode. Remember, this is all being mirrored, so I'm only going to do half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some slices here. So Control R. Place the cursor next to one of the edges, and perpendicular to that edge is going to create a slice. I'm going to create 2. I'm just rolling the scroll wheel up or down, and I just want 2 there. Okay. From here, I'm going to get rid of some of these edges here. So Control key, drag it, get rid of these. Good. Go to the bottom and do the same thing. Control, hold control, and get rid of those. And go to my top view, orthographic view, and I'm just going to pull it out to get a slight little curve, like so. Now, you're noticing I've got other points in there that needed to be targeted. So I'm going to undo it. Go back to my X-ray mode. And what happened was I didn't select everything. I was not in X-ray mode completely. So I'm in X-ray mode now. Select them to here. Yeah, that should be good. I'm going to rotate it around and make sure everything looks. Yeah, that works perfectly. Okay. Let's pull it out a little bit. Oh, it's still not selecting. Let me see what it is it's missing. Maybe it's not what I. Oh, I see it. It might be one of these interior ones. So I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. All right. I think I'm okay. So I'm gonna go here and just give it a little bit of a curve. That's all I need. Okay, that's all I need. That little edge inside that we saw is from these guys here. These guys in here, which we don't care about. Or was it one of these in here, which we don't really care about? Okay, let's pull it on back. All right, solid. And let's get out of there and go back into, okay. Now we got a slight little curve there. It's just a subtle little curve. All right. Let me take that little notation off here. I'm sitting here working, and I'm going to go ahead and go to full screen so you guys can get the, you know, the full view of my interface. So, all right, let's go and let's start to play. Let's kind of like think this out. So we did good in the front. Got the window section going here. We're going to have to texture this too. We're going to do the nozzle next. So what's next is, as we started talking, is doing this little detail here. A little trickier than you think, all right? So basically, we need to think about this. We're going to break this up into simple little components. So we got this section here, breaking it down to simple components, and we have this section here. And both of those are just replicated around the nozzle. So my thought process is, let's think about a primitive that would actually reflect this. And that primitive is probably going to be a cylinder. And I've already counted these. We've got a total of 16. And what I mean by is 16 of these individual little shapes in here. There's 16 of those in there. So we're going to break it down so that we're going to take 2 of those shapes and we're going to create this detail. Okay. All right. I'm going to hit the whole control key and erase all that away. Now, what I'm going to do next is go ahead and let's go ahead and bring in that inside the cylinder. Let's go push this on over. I'm going to select the nozzle. Shift S for my 3D cursor options. Go to cursor to select it because I want this to match the center, the orientation of the nozzle itself. Shift A, let's go ahead and get the mesh, and let's go ahead and get cylinder. Now I'm going to come right down here, and by default, it's giving you 32. All right, we want how many? We want 16, about half that. And hit enter, and there we go. All right, so we've got our individual faces. Let's rotate this on the x-axis. So RX90. Good. If I go to X-ray mode, let's go ahead and bring this down and scale. S for scale. Bring it down like so. In fact, let's get out of X-ray so I can see this a little bit better. I don't think I need the reference images anymore. They're getting in the way, so I'm going to go ahead and just turn that off. All right, so S key scale. In fact, here I'll take it to here, and then I'm going to modify the interior. Control A, rotation and scale. I'm going to apply it. Edit mode here. Go to face editing mode with 3 on the keyboard. I'm going to grab both of my faces here. Go to the orthographic view on the side, scale, pull it on in, and let's give that right there. This is going to be right about there. So I'm looking at my phaser, and if I hit the A key, I'm going to go to X-ray mode, go to the side view. You can see the ends are lining up pretty much where I want them to be at this point. Now I'm gonna hit select all to do the whole thing. And what I want to do is I want to scale this a little bit outward, but not on the Y axis. I don't want to scale on the Y axis, just on the Z and the X. So I'm gonna hit the scale, and then I'm gonna hit the S for scale, and then I'm gonna hit Shift Y to lock it down so it doesn't go on the Y axis. I'm just gonna pull that out right about there. Look at that. There, got it. All right, so I'm going to get out into object mode so you guys can see what it looks like. See? Okay, so you guys are getting the point here where we're kind of going with this. I think I want to do is I want to make it just a little bit larger, a little bit. So S and then lock down on the Y and just pull it out a little more like that. Yeah. That looks good. So if we take a look at our reference, I probably pulled out a little bit too much, but that's okay. That's okay. You'll see why in just a moment. Okay, now let's go ahead and fill the screen, get rid of that little box there. Okay, looking pretty good. Control A. I'm gonna apply rotation and scale. Now all I want are 2 of these. So if I'm looking at this straight on, go to my front face editing mode. This thing's aligned perfectly for me. This is going to be nice because I've got 2 of them. I got one to the left and one to the right. If I rotate it here, I've got these 2 right up here. I think I can use. So let's go and let's go have some fun with this. Let's go inside edit mode and let's go grab all of these. I'll tell you what, we're going to grab just those 2 faces. That's all we need. Control I for inverse, X key, and delete all the faces. That's all I need. That's all I want is that little piece. So remember, we got 16 of these, right? Of individual of pieces. Now, if anybody has questions, feel free to just shout out, ask some questions. I love questions. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to create my details. Let's go take a look at this to remind us. One side is completely flat, which is exactly what I've got right there. Okay. The other side is developed of these of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these little ridges. But there's more than 7. That's actually 14 of these in there because we got the insides, right? The interior, which is the same shape, is not being affected. So it's going to stay down while the rest come up to create these ridges. So I'm going to do that now. Let's pull this on over. And we're going to use our slicing command. So Command R here and roll that wheel. So if I count this, 7, okay, it's something like this. I'm going to count this 1, 2, I think 1 more. All right, I'm going to try this. I'm going to click it again. Let me see how many I have here. I've got 9. So Let me see if I actually go to the face editing view, face editing view, and grab this one, and then shift and select that one, then shift and control and go plus key on the numeric side, plus, plus. Okay, so that's a total of 1, 2, 3. Okay, we need more than 9. We need more than 9. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 2 more, probably about 11. So undo, undo, undo is great in Blender. There we go. So Control R. All right, and if I let me click this here, come over to here, 9. Let's go to 11. Hit it there. I think that's gonna work. So if I 1, 2, let's try that. Let's hit enter. So this is 11. Face editing. Grab that. Shift. Grab that one. Shift and control. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So we need about. We got about one more. Probably 12. We need 12. We need 12. Let's go back. Okay, Control R once again. Select it. There, I'll just do that. Come over here to the loop, put in 12. There. All right, let's see how that works. Face editing. This is better work. Yep, that's it. That's 7. I've got one on both ends as the picture shows. Got one coming up from here and one coming up from here, and all the rest in between. Okay, cool. All right, so now that I have this, I want to do one last little thing. Okay, let's give this some thickness. Let's go over here, object mode. I'm going to give it a modifier. Go to the modifier, generate, solidify, there. Okay. Solidify it downward like that, right about there. Now, it's moving awfully quickly. Let me go to my X-ray mode here. I'm going to hold down the Shift key so I can have minute. That should do just fine like that. All right, get out of X-ray mode. That's going to work. Now, what I need to do is I need real geometry for this technique. Okay, so if I go inside here in edit mode, there's no real geometry there. All right, I want to commit real geometry, and then I want to pull out from this that detail. So we'll go back to object mode, and let's go over and go to our little drop menu here, and I'm going to say apply. Now I've got real geometry. If I go back in here, real geometry. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? We got real geometry. Now, one thing we need to do, and I'm going to deal with it right now because it's going to be a pain later, is I'm going to grab all these edges because on the phaser, this is actually beveled. Shift and select that. My scale tool is automatically, it's already selected. So I'm just going to pull it like that, like there. Okay, cool. So if we take a look at this, it's slightly beveled. You can see it. It's slightly beveled. It's kind of a low resolution, but trust me, it's slightly beveled. Okay. Now we go to our faces. So 3 key on the keyboard, select that one. Shift select this one. Control and Shift held down together. Plus, 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 plus. Okay, and we're going to pull it on out, right? So everybody knows what command I'm going to use, right? E for extrude and pull it on up, and there's our detail right there. I'm going to take it right about there. And if I pull on over and take a look, it's at an extreme angle. It's kind of hard to see exactly how far, but I think that'll work. Now we got to go to edge editing mode. Why? Because we need to select those edges and keep that bevel going there. So I'm going to come over, go to X-ray mode, and I want to grab edge editing mode. Make sure I'm going to hold down the control and right click and just select these edges up here. I don't want that one selected. See, those right there is all I need. Bring it around. Shift key. Select those edges. Done. Okay, get out of X-ray mode so I can see what I'm doing and just do this. There we go. We got that bevel going. Now, this may be a little bit, oh, I may be able to push these down a little bit. Let's go to that, and just push it down a little bit like that. So it's just a little bit. There we go. That's not so bad. I'm going to go to my scale, push these out a little bit, just so it matches. That looks good. This is fine. This is fine. Tab key, object mode, there it is. Okay. That is fine. And if I want a little more, I don't need a little more bevel, but I'm thinking this whole thing needs to be scaled out a little bit more because the detail comes actually very close to this grout here. If I take a look at it, this comes fairly close to the front. In fact, why don't we just get a side view, right? Let's see if I got a side view in here. I think it's that one there. Yes. Yeah, that comes really close to the grout. Sorry for the low res view, but that comes very close to this interior bevel right in here. All right, so I'm gonna go to edit mode, so I don't have to hit the Control A. Hit the select all in face mode, and just push it out like that. Probably a little bit more. That's good. That's acceptable. Okay, go back to object mode. I think that'll work. Okay. All right. So here's where the fun really begins. We have some new features in this 5.0 Blender, especially when it comes to the array. Now, the orientation is right down there in the middle. I want to set the orientation. I want this orientation to be dead center of this thing. And to ensure it, I'm going to come up here, just give it edit mode, X-ray, edge editing mode, and I'm going to select that dead center edge right there. That's where I want my orientation to be. Dead center of this piece, because it's equal in terms of angles and length on both sides. Shift S, cursor to select it. Get out of here to object mode, and then go to right click origin to 3D cursor. That way I can custom select the origin exactly where I want it to be. That's exactly where I want it to be. Now, we're going to select the nozzle because I want the origin of the nozzle. We'll grab that right there. Shift S, put the 3D cursor there. Now select my new piece here. Shift S again, and this time selection the cursor. So Shift S, selection. Oh, come on, selection the cursor. There we go. I was doing it. There it is. See, dead center. All right. This is going to help me to figure out the rotation or the diameter of this much quicker. Now, I'll keep this in X-ray mode for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to put on an array. Now, this is going to be fun. I'm going to add a modifier. We're going to go to generate. I'm going to add an array, but not the array legacy. That's the old array, right? We want the new array in 5.0. So the new array's got some extra features in here. So we can see it coming out. Now let's get it out of there. We can see the details coming out, right? It's going linear array by default. Let's kind of pull this on up. It's going to linear line right there for the shape. We don't want line. What do we want? We want circle. Boom. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. So if we X-ray it, you can see the circle is it's doing it along what, the Z-axis, which is what it's doing by default. We want it along the Y-axis, right? Let's try X, see what it looks like. You can see it's oriented toward the X or oriented toward the Y. Okay. Okay. So now this is where it gets fun. So if see that little yellow box there, that's going to be your radius. So if I pull that up, all these come out like this, right? So let me pull these on up. So it's going from the radius, pulling it straight on up. Let's go to here. I want, how many of these do we want? Remember, there's 16 total, and we basically we divided it in half because we're using 2. So we want 8 total, right? So the count here, instead of 3 by default, we're going to go to 8. Boom. There we go. So there's our little pieces. All right. And then all we need to do is we need to rotate this. So for some reason, it didn't keep the orientation of the original. I don't know why. But I'm going to just go to edit mode and rotate it. So go to tab, go to edit mode. And if I get out of here and go to X-ray mode, you can see this here. So if I rotate this, let's say on the negative X, actually, let me go back on that. Oops, I'm hitting the wrong thing. I'm selecting a portion. I'm gonna hit A for all, silly me. A for all, and now we rotate the whole thing, right? So we want to rotate on the positive X direction, okay? So I'm gonna undo this. So we're gonna hit R, X, and then 90, boom. Actually, negative 90. Negative 90 goes the other way like that. Okay, so now get an X-ray mode. See? All set up, ready to go. All you got to do is just come up here to the little yellow box and kind of like that. There it is. You got your detail. So I always thought this part was kind of fun. Okay, so now I want to move it back a little bit. It's up too far. So just in object mode, just push it on back. Oops, that's not what I want to do. I want to take this one here. Okay. Let's see, we got to be careful. We'll do it this way then, or maybe we'll go to edit mode. Okay, we'll go to edit mode and move it around. I should be able to move this. Let me go to my, click on this here. All right, see, I want you to, okay, that's something different. Interesting. Oh, that's what's going on. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here not paying attention. I thought I was in object mode. There. I'm not in object mode. There. I was still in edit mode. Bring it right about there. That works. Okay. Okay, that'll work. And then if you hit your rotation while you're in object mode, it works like it's a solid object, see? A single object, not being affected by the modifiers. Okay, so we got the nozzle done. All right, so what more do we want to do? Now, next, we've got the little, here, let me kind of show it to you over here. You bring this on over, we got this little dial right up here. And let me see if I got another view of this, which I know I have another view of it. Let's go ahead and look at it from this view. That's too far away. Let's see if we got something from the rear, which we do. I'm going to select this, bring it on through. There we go. So we got this, bring this on. That's a lot cleaner. So this is exactly what I have. This comes straight down. Now the photograph does something different. The photograph is not completely accurate. So just as an FYI, if I turn on the references, you can see the references have something slightly different. All right, almost like a little saucer shape here. That's not accurate to Canon. All right, Canon is it comes all the way down flat. The bottom is flat, and you've got this little bevel, basically a hood with four of these coming off. So I'm going to need eight. I would say probably an 8-sided cylinder for this piece, with four extending with four um, finger. I don't know what you call these here, but making almost like a giant plus, but with a slight little curve to it. All right, so let's go do it. So I'm going to need two objects for this. I'm going to need one cylinder that's going to be smooth, another cylinder that's only going to be 8-sided. So let's do the smooth cylinder first. So this one right here on the base. Let's go pull this on back. And I almost want to, and I may need to adjust the size a little bit later, but we're going to play with this. I'm going to come right up here, shift right click to put the 3D cursor exactly where I want it. Go to our mesh. Let's go over here to cylinder. And it gets given me 8 because, or 16 because that's what I had last time. Let's go back to 32. This will be fine. X-ray mode, S key, kind of bring it down something like this. I think it's time to go ahead and go to edit mode at this point. So Command A, rotation and scale, or Control A. Let's go into edit mode. Pull this on up. I'm grabbing the bottom face. Grab the top face, pull it on down. S for scale, pull it on in like so. I think that'll work. Okay. And I'm looking at the phaser on my desktop, and this is probably too large overall. So hit the A key, scale it, bring it down to something like this. Again, comparing it to, yeah, look at that. That's probably a lot more accurate. And we can always change it later as well. So let me go to the top view. Yep, that looks good. Now the top view is pretty accurate. So I'm going to push this on back right about there. Top view looks good. If we look at it from the side, that is going almost out, almost touching the right or left side, almost touching. So I can probably give this a slight bit more scale, like right about there. Which is almost close to the drawing, but the drawing is not accurate. All right, now we're going to put another one up here. So go to tab, option. We'll bring in another cylinder. So you can do everything using primitives here. Scale it, bring it on down. Oh, no, I made a mistake. Let's go do it again. So Shift A, mesh, cylinder, and we want 8-sided with this one. Okay, now I'm going to close that panel out, get out of the way, scale it, bring it on down. Oh, it didn't do my 8. Wait a minute. I put in 8. I didn't hit enter. Okay, I'm rushing today. Cylinder 8. Then hit 8. Oh, the keyboard's not responding. That's what it is. Numlock got knocked off. There we go. That's what happened. Okay, so S key. Bring it on down. Go to my side view. S key. It's going to kind of match. All right, I'm going to match. Bring that on up like so. It's going to sit right up here. Command A. Rotation and scale. Tab key. Edit mode. I want to make sure I'm in X-ray mode. Grab that top face. Bring that on down. I'm going to say, so I'm looking at my phaser, and that top portion is actually pretty thin. This one's high. And if we take a look at this one, yeah, it's pretty thin up here. It's not as thick as this showing it. So I'm going to keep it the way it is now. Okay, so go to my top view. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and rotate this around. Hit the R key for rotation and kind of match. Oops, I made a mistake. I got to go and hit the A key to select all. Now hit the R key. Kind of match the direction. And I'm just eyeing it. By the way, I could use numbers, but here, getting out of X-ray viewed once again so I can select the sides. Alt E for options for extrude along normals, just like this. Okay. Okay, so what I think I like to do is give it a little bit of a sizing. But I'm going to come right up here to the options, my orientation options. I got global selected, but just to the right of it, I've got median point. But if I go to individual origins like so, look what we can do. I can hit this S key and they all scale toward their own individual origins. So I'm going to take it like this. This is cool. All right, that'll work. Now, a couple of things I can do. I can put a bevel on here or a subdivision surfaces. Now, let's go to objects and let's see what the bevel modifier is going to do, can help us here. It might be able to help us pretty well. I'm going to take this, I'm going to make it slightly smaller, S, just a little, let's go, before I do anything, let's reset the orientation. Right click, orientation to geometry, dead center. There we go, that's where I wanted to be. S to scale and just bring it up a little smaller like that. That works. I better hurry up here. We're getting close to our 15-minute break. All right, I'm going to select them both. Side view. Bring this on down. I'm going to keep it straight up and down for now. I'm going to rotate a little bit to make sure it's aligned to the surface of the phaser a little bit later, but just in case I need to make any adjustments, it'll make it easier to stay within the orientation of the world space. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm looking at my phaser. That top portion is actually much smaller than the base, so it's coming in a lot more. So that top portion is too large. it actually comes down to something like scale, more like this. Bring it down in closer to this. Yeah, okay, so if you're on the top view, from what I'm seeing, these outer edges actually, and I'm going to look straight down. I don't know if I've got, yeah, it's actually coming just inside here. I'm pretty close. Let me get the S key again, right about there. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. Move this way a little bit, just to make it look like it's right on. Yeah, that's better. That's more accurate. Okay. So if anybody sees anything wrong, just kind of like chat in the chat box. Just say, "Hey, Steve, try this or try that." I'm totally open. All right, it's starting to look good. All right, so now I think we're getting close to doing. We got these little extra details. We'll do those last. So why don't we go and tackle the Type 2 phaser for now? Type 1 phaser. Sorry, this is Type 2. Type 1 phaser. You know what we can do? There's something we can do before we do that. Let's put the glass in here. We got the glass that goes right in here. Let's go do that real quick. So I will go to the side view, shift, put that right about there, just where I think I want it. And I think what I'll do is just shift A. Let's go add a plane right there. Rotate that plane on the x-axis. So RX 90. There we go. And hit enter. Go to my front view. Gotta center this. Go to Command A, rotation of scale. Now go to edit mode, scale. Let's not waste time. Let's get in close. There we go. Go to X-ray. We will grab the sides here. Bring it. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I want to do this, that. All right, it's going to be stubborn, huh? Do this, there. Okay. Maybe a little bit too much. So right about there, it'll be good. Grab that, and we're going to bring it down. There we go, and grab that, and bring it up right about there. That should work. Okay, we're going to texture this too. So I want to pull this. Oops, I want to pull the whole thing for it. Select all. Whole thing for it like that. And then we're going to give some thickness. Add a modifier. Generate. Solidify. X-ray mode. And let's go to object mode. Solidify. There we go. So you got some thickness in there. Maybe not that thick. Maybe something like that. It'll do just fine. Okay, so this is going to be. I'm going to call this glass. Okay, we got a cylinder here. We're going to call this one intensity dial. Let's call it dial. We're going to call it dial 1. Grab that top one. We'll call it dial 2. Okay. Glass is a cylinder here. Let's see where this is going. That's probably the this. Where we go. So I'm going to call this one the the nozzle detail. Okay, and all of it, and this is going to be called the emitter. I'm going to hit the period key. It's already called the emitter. Good. I wanted to make sure. So all of these need to go inside the phaser. I'm just drag the box over them and drag and drop it, put them inside the phaser. Command S. Okay. Cool. Very cool. All right. We've got 3 minutes before break. So let's start the phaser type 1. And then we'll do the details when we come back. Let's go to work. So let's go to the side view. That orientation is kind of where I want to bring in the box for the phaser type 1. So Shift A, mesh, bring in the cube. That's all we need to do. So let's bring it on over. Just slide it on over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go directly into edit mode for this one. So Command, go to my tab key, edit mode there. And let's go grab faces. So 3 key for faces. Select this face. Make sure I'm in X-ray mode. Bring it on up. All right. We're going to bring it to the remember, stupid, simple, boxy shapes. It's all we want. Stupid, simple, boxy shapes. And I want the core of the piece. Because if you look at the curvature on the outside, that's the curvature detail that we're going to extrude outwards, right? So we want the core box of this piece. Which is right there. Go to the top view. Okay. What we're going to do is we need this. I'm going to bring this out right about there. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is we only need half. I'm going to select this one piece, which is that face there, and I want that sitting right on the x-axis, go global axis. So it's currently -1. Put in 0. That was local. Sorry, I want global. Do it again. 0, and it places on global. X and delete the face. We don't need it anymore. So we're only going to do half. Okay. Shift S, cursor to selected. Actually, I need the edges first. That's what I want there. Shift X, Shift S, cursor to selected. Tab key. Right click, tell origin to be on the 3D cursor. Okay. And then we go give it a modifier, which you probably know what I'm going to do. I want that mirror. Boom. There we go. So we're only going to do half because time is money. Okay, let's get back into here and let's work this out. Go to my X-ray mode. It might be, yeah, I'm going to, the drawing, the phaser type 1 is too thick vertically. Type 1's a lot thinner from top to bottom. But we're going to make some options here. What I'm going to do is if you look at the front, I'm going to go to the top view here. Let's see, is that, let me see, I'm going to turn off my, this cube. I'm going to call this one type 1. That's going to be phaser type 1. Let's drag that into the phaser folder and just stay inside the phaser folder. It's the only thing that I create. Okay. I'm going to turn off. This is the body here, right? There we go. That's the body underneath. I'm going to rename that one type 2. So I'm consistent. And I'm going to turn that off so that I can focus just on the type 1, in which we can see. All right, so I'm looking at the front of the phaser, which is probably going to be a little thinner, actually. So I'm going to come over here to the side view, go select that phaser, go back to my edit mode, go face editing. And if you take a look at this, the whole thing is selected there. Get in close. This is going to come inside of this section here, of the front section. And it's going to come inside of this front section. So you push that to there. I'm going to go to the top view, orthographic. See that? You want that inside of that drawing, right about there. The back end, it falls right in place. It's pretty much a straight line between the front and the back. Maybe not completely. Maybe what this will do here is go to that edge there. Maybe that'll come in just slightly like that. It's a little bit of a slight little angle there. So we'll honor that. And I'm going to just inspect the sides real quick. Yep, that looks good. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to give it some more geometry so we can start reflecting its shape. So Command R here and just roll the wheel once. We're going to keep it simple. Stupid, simple, boxy shapes. I'm going to click once, slide it maybe right about there. Click again. Go to my top view. Face editing mode. Grab that face right there. Pull it on out like so. Okay. Go to the side view and let's go to my scale option and pull it on. I'll make sure I get this whole thing correct. Need to select the entire loop, of course. Now we know that the drawing is too thick, so this coming to here is just about right. I'm looking at the phaser here. Yeah, the type 1 does not come above. It does come above this, but only barely. This one comes quite a bit above. So I'm going to make it just, let's go to here, just only like right about, that's all I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to do. And it looks like I may be off. I'm going to select the whole thing. I may be off a little bit. Let me see if I kind of push this up a little bit like that. Yeah. Yeah, I think this can work. All right. Control R. I'm going to put a slice right here. It needs it. Push it on up. Grab this whole section and push it on up. Stupid, simple, boxy shapes. That's all we want. Stupid, simple, boxy shapes. Way too much, obviously. Let me go undo that. Yeah, that's about as far as I want to go. I don't want to go any further than this. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to get this edge here. It's bugging me up, but double clicking on it and push it in like that. Yeah. Okay. Let's go see it from the top view. Grab that edge here. Go to my move tool and just push it on out. Okay. It's looking good. Stupid, simple, boxy shapes. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Let's bring back our body. Okay, we're making progress. I think the back end is just a little bit too thick going on the z-axis. Grab this here. Probably pull that on up to there. All right, I'm going to make some modifications to this as well. All right, we'll come back. We'll make more modifications. And then we're going to start rounding this stuff off, so everything flows nicely to one another. Cool. So let's do a 15-minute break. Let's go to our handy dandy 15-minute timer. There we go. And it's going. All right. Let's take a bathroom break, snack break, all that stuff, and come on back and finish up our phaser. I will mute my mic temporarily. Oh, by the way, Carm, I just saw you were there. Smoke him if you got him. I love it. Stupid. So solid, simple boxy shades. That's a good idea. I like that, Carm. All right, I'm gonna give you the link to join on live if you like, and Carm. So hang tight. We'll come back after break. All right, it is that time. Hey, Carm's here, so I'm gonna add you to the stage. Good
Hi.
morning. How you doing?
Good. My audio levels are good.
Yeah, audio. It sounds pretty good so far.
Great.
It's been a while since we've seen you.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks.
Okay. Did you have anything you wanted to share?
I could do a couple things. I could show you what I've done so far in my program, and actually, I was planning on doing a little modeling. I could do that if you want.
That'll be great. So let me do a little bit of this. Let's see. What's it's Let me go to about say 12:15.
What is it? 12 right now?
It is 11, almost 11:30.
Okay.
About 30 minutes, 40
Yeah,
minutes
that's your
ago. Let me
show.
finish
Do what
this,
you
and
want.
then I'll let you have the last 45 minutes to an hour or so.
All right. I won't need that much time.
Okay. All right. Sounds
I'm
good.
succinct.
All right. Sounds great. All right. So where were we? Okay, we were basically just kind of shaping out this phaser type one. Go to the top view and let's go to full screen mode here so you guys can view that. All right, let me go to my X-ray view real quick. Just kind of take a look at this. Okay, I need to start mapping this out a little more accurately. This is going to be in my opinion, a little bit thinner than what the photograph shows. So I'm going to just go to the edge view here, push that on in a little bit, like that. I think I'm going to also do the same thing for these two edges here, push it on in like this. I think that'll be because it's looking at the phaser that I have here in my hand. It's a little smaller, a little thinner than what we have. Go to my top view and let's come over here and go to probably, I'm going to add two more slices here. Control R, one here and one there. And just grab this edge and just pull it out just like so. Okay, that looks good. So I want to get some even spacing in here as much as possible. So Control R, but I want to keep it very, very large and very simple. Stupid, simple, boxy shape. There we go. Yeah, that's a nice little curve there. Let me go to the front view, inspect that real quick. Looks like we can probably add one more here just to keep that curve in there like so. Okay.
You know what? A trick I like to do
Yeah.
in situations like this: take the shape and stretch it 400% along the X, and then you get a really good idea about the flow of the curve. And
Mm-hmm.
make your adjustments and then shrink it back down 25%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just that's I'm going to here and I'm going to come over this way. That's a good suggestion. Actually, I want to double click that and grab the whole loop. There we go. Just I'm gonna add a actually right in here. I'm gonna double click this one. I can see a little bit the curvature is a little bit odd here, so I'm gonna go grab this whole face. There we go. Pull that up right about there. Yeah, I mean I'm just because I'm gonna add subdivision surfaces to this, and that's gonna smooth all this out anyway.
Yeah, I get it. But what if you stretch it out, the flow will be get much more obvious.
Like, for example, to here.
Yeah, but everything.
Oh,
Undo that and then select everything and just stretch it along one axis 400%.
let's try it real quick. Let's go to hit the A, and you want to go everything right, like to here. All
Yeah.
right,
Can
and
you
then
can you type in an exact number like 400%?
yeah, I can. So if I want to go to scale, hit the here I can hit the S for scale. All right, and then come on, let's go to here. Let's go to select all, S for scale. Type in 400. That's it. That would be like basically 4. I wanted all
Yeah. Now on your top, go on the
options.
top view and you can see how the curve looks.
All right, so go to the top view, right?
Yeah. Make your changes and then scale it down to 25%.
Yeah, but I got a mirror on here, so I got a mirror modifier, so it's not quite. So unless I do this and then go to undo,
It shouldn't matter.
yeah, it does. In Blender, it does. Lightwave, it doesn't. It's if I go here and grab these edges, let me flatten these edges out. So I'm gonna go to the top view here, scale X0, enter. Just make sure all that's all flattened out. And I think this should already be on the X-axis. Nope, it isn't. So I'm gonna hit the 0 key and put it right on the X-axis. Now what I need to do is I need to come up here and tell it to resize everything from the 3D cursor here. So if I do
Okay, so you weren't stretching it at the center point.
right, that's the center point now. So A key for select all, and if you want to hit the, go to S. If you want to hit the S, do something like this, and then come over here, select them all 4 there. All right, and then what are you suggesting?
Now you can just back up a little bit so you can see everything. And then
Now
just
I can manually do it like this.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
it looks like you're stretching it proportionally.
well, no, I'm just using my eye. I mean, I'm not trying to use numbers here. I'm not trying to be an
It's
engineer.
important to use numbers so you can squeeze it back to where it was.
Yeah, I know, but I'm using my eye on this one. I'm just kind of being an artist here, just for now.
Okay.
Now, if I was doing a client project and everything was accurate, had to be accurate in proportions, and yeah, I would use numbers. But for this tutorial, I was just eyeing it according to our photograph. And I didn't really want it actually accurate to the photograph because the photograph is a little bit wider than what the actual
Yeah,
face
I heard you mentioning that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so I'm kind of using a little bit of my
I was just talking about the general curve shape. You might, if once you stretch it along one axis, you might see it's a little more lumpy than you would prefer.
Yeah. And then we got smoothing commands too. So I think it's okay for now. All right, let me go to work. We don't have a lot of time. so let me okay, this is good. This is good. Let's go ahead and add a modifier, another modifier. Let's go to subdivision surface. So I got a mirror on here. Go to subdiv surfaces right there. Cool. Now what you want to do when you, especially when you do a mirroring, is you want to tell the subd surface to not affect the edges on the inside. Naturally, it won't, but just to be safe, if you come down to your subds and you go to advanced right down here in the bottom, I'm going to scroll that up. You have something in here called boundary smooth, right? So you got the UV smooth and the boundary. So you want the boundary smooth, and you want to say don't touch those boundaries. The boundaries is basically the edges. It has no geometry on it. Which this does not. Okay, so this is just no faces are here on the inside, just an edge. So come to the boundary smooth here and say keep the corners there. and that way they never get touched. So your mirror modifier will work great. Viewpoint levels of view, go to 2, go to 3. There we go. That's what we want. All right. Now we created the boundary shape with our hard edges. Remember our stupid simple little boxes? That's going to be the boundary. That's what we want to really gauge the final piece against. So we're going to use control loops. Now there are techniques in Blender where, for example, I can select an edge like so. Like I'll select both of these edges here. And there's a technique in Blender, and I know there is in Lightwave, where if I come over here to my options, I have an option for mean crease. And if I crease that, I can control the nature of these edges. What I don't like about this is that you don't have total control over the edges. I prefer to use control loops, which is what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to start. Let's start by doing the sides here. So Control R here. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to do it again. Control R, double click. Control B, bevel, and slide it on out like so. Now I'm looking at my phaser in my hand, and in fact, I can compare it. Compare it to this one. There we go. Yeah, that's not bad. That's pretty close. Since we only have half, I want a little bit of a sharper edge. So if we look at this one, nice round, but a little bit more of a sharper edge. And that's where adding another control loop, Command R, along the top. And see, I have more control. So the mean creases can work from time to time, but I find this has a lot more control in Blender. There we go. There's our Type 1 phaser. It's not bad. And then we need to get the back. Let's go take a look at the rear. All right, it's nice rounded, but give it a little bit more of an edgy look. All right, so we simply just have to add another loop. Control R here, click and hold, and just see. And I'm going to visually assess what looks accurate to the photograph. That's all I'm doing. So this is akin to, oh gosh, what do you call it? The CAD software, right? So the CAD software is it's NURBS based, I think. Is that right, Carm? Is Carm there?
Sorry, I have my mic turned down.
Oh.
I don't really know. I haven't played with CAD a lot.
Yeah, I think CAPS is, well, if I'm, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think CAPS is more NURBS based, which is what CAD does. So what Subdivision Surface is doing is a combination of CAD and box modeling. So that way you get the curves that you want for your edges, but the software is going to do it for you.
There's no need to get catty.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go deal with the front portion here. So we can take a look at, now we may need another photograph. Let's go get another photograph.
Well, that looks nice.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. I want to just see if I can get another. Here we go. We got this view here. A little bit harder to see. It's kind of hidden, but I'm thinking just give it a slight more edginess in there. Pull this on over. Now I can turn off the type 2. Let's go over here to type 2 just to get it out of the way. There we go. Yeah, get a little bit more edginess. Um, let's just add a slice. See, there we go. And we're going to need that front because we got to add a more detail in there anyway. This looks good. I think this is going to work. I think we're fine. Let's go to the top view. Go to X-ray. Top view. Inspect it against the top view. Ah, it's pretty accurate. It's right there. Side view. Pretty good. Yeah. This I don't see a problem with this. Okay, now we've got some work to do. Um, a few things to do actually. Let me go bring back the type 2. Let's go to object mode. And I may have to modify. I'll have to modify this base here because the original photograph that I followed was a little bit inaccurate. So I can do that right now. Let's go do that real quick. Tab, edit mode. And let's see, what do we want to do? I think we want to go get in the X-ray, go to edge editing mode, and just go to the side view here so I can see what I'm doing. Just grab all this. Okay. Get out of this. Now I'm currently in the cursor. I'm going to go to medium point, bring that on back. And I'm just going to just pull this on up like so. So I'm going to select. So there we go. I'm selecting too many. I don't want to get greedy here. So just select what I need to smooth it out. Grab this little point here, smooth it on up. And I think I can grab all these and push them all on up right about there. I think that works. Do the same thing here. There we go. And then one more here. Smooth it on out. I thought if I grab this back in, push it down just a little bit. Okay, let's go take a look at it. Object mode. There we go. Nice. That's beautiful. So Command S. Yep, that face looks exactly the way I want it to. All right, so this is what we got to do. We got a little bit of work to do. We got this grid. Let me actually go to this other view, which I think is here. All right, you got that grid at the top, and we have to model. That's going to be really fun. We got this wheel here, and we've got this viewer because we're going to texture all this. We got this little inner piece here, and we can easily do that. And I'm thinking of probably, let's see, what can I do here? If you're going to 3D print this, I may want to model that as a separate piece, but let me see what I can do. If I go to the type 1, let's go to inside. All right, I tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to add a slice here. This is going to be fun. I'm going to hit Control R and add a slice and just leave it alone. I'm going to take it off in just a little bit. I'm going to hit the P key for that slice. And I'm going to break it out into its own separate section. And it's calling it type 1. I'm gonna call this one type 1 detail, type 1 side detail, or dot side detail. All right, so there it is. We can see it selected. It's just that edge selected, and it's a mirror on it. I'm gonna go to edit mode here. Go to X-ray. And I think what I'm going to do here is cheat a little bit. I want to select these edges. And I'm going to hit the fill key for the face. Fill it. Okay. I'm going to inspect my phaser. This edge is not going to come near the top, or it's not going to come out of the bottom. It's only going to come off the sides. So let's go to the top view. And just grab these faces here. And I'm just going to pull it off the side just a little bit. Okay. Now I got to push this back. Now let's go to the point editing mode. We got a lot of points in here that we kind of don't need. So I'm going to select this point. Let's take a look at the front and this point. And I'm going to hit Control X and dissolve them out. The rest I'm going to keep. I'm going to select this edge here. Let's see, double G. No, it doesn't want to do that, huh? Fine, I'll just push it up. Push it up just into it a little bit like this. That works, okay? And then this point here, I'm going to just take it and push it in like so. You'll see why in just a minute. I'm going to go to the front, grab this, push it in. And to be honest, let me go push that to there. That'll be good. All right, that's good. All right, we're ready to go. So 3 key for face editing mode. I'm gonna just get out of object mode here. See that sticking out there? Come over here, give it a modifier, and you guys already know what I'm gonna do. Solidify. All right, let's go down and get the solidify. There you go, something like that. Yeah. So it's not quite, well, it's not quite sticking out that far. So what I'll do is I'll just go inside into edit mode and just, those edges are still selected. And I'm just going to eye it, push it in like right there. That did it. That works. Okay. Okay, that's going to work. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And it's on both sides. We've got one little detail back here. That's the release for the Type 1 phaser. Go to our X-ray mode. And that's going to be an easy one, right? So go to side view, get in close. Shift right click, put the 3D cursor right here. Shift a mesh, and we're going to add a standard cylinder. Rotate it on the X. So R key, rotate on the Y, actually. Y, 90 degrees. Let's make sure I did do this right. Yep, I did it right. But my cylinder is too, well, it doesn't really matter. I guess I can put a subdivision surface on it, so I'll do it again. Shift a mesh cylinder, give it standard 32. So I don't have to worry about it, because if we're going to 3D print this out, we're not going to see the ridges anyway. Rotate on the Y axis, 90 degrees. So I hit the R, Y, and then 90. And then from here, I'm just going to eye it like this. Okay. Getting close. Go to my side view. Really place that exactly where it should be in the photograph. S. There we go. Pull it out. X-ray. Hit the S key for scale, X for the axis. Pull it out like that. That should be good enough. Okay. Maybe a little thinner. Maybe a little thinner, just to kind of match what I'm seeing in the photograph here. Okay. Select that, give that a bevel modifier. See? Get a little bit of a rounded edge there. Oh, but I forgot to do something. Command A and rotation and scale. See it change? Because I didn't apply my settings. There we go. We'll do something like that and give it a few rounded edges like so. Okay, that's done. We still got these little details around the sides of the phaser here. We'll get that later. Got the details on the sides of the handle as well. That should be pretty easy. But let's focus up here on the top of the phaser. This grid up here, this is going to be fun. Because you guys are probably wondering, how is Steve going to do this grid? Let's see if I have any other views of the phaser here from the top. What is this one here? How does that look like? I've got bridge. Let's see if do I have bridge open here so you can see this. Let me open Adobe Bridge. I think I've got other versions of this that I did not import in. We'll kind of take a look at it through Bridge. Okay, let's go over here. Phaser. And I should have my image references. Image captures. Okay, hold on a minute. Let's see what's going on here. Where am I? Image cache, JPEG captures. That's something else. I may be in the wrong phaser folder, but phaser images. There we go. Found it. Okay, we got this. Let's go hit the space bar. Okay, come on, but what is going on with you? Space bar is supposed to magnify this. All right, so Bridge is going to act up on me today, so that's all right. We'll do it the hard way. Just zoom in a little closer. Bring it on back. There we go. Okay, we got to get this detail here. So we got, this is going to be in clear. So looking at the Type 1 phaser, this is clear back here, this square piece. This is solid with the grid pattern, and it's metallic. And this has got to be flush with the shape of the phaser. Let's see what else we've got here. Let's see if we got another view. All right, I think that's the one we just looked at. All right, kind of bring this on down. Same thing. So got that grid pattern in there. We need to reflect. Got this little detail here, and that's going to be pretty easy to do. That's kind of fun. Okay, so let's do that grid. Let's go to work. Let's go determine what we need to do. So I need to basically start mapping out sections. So I'm going to pull this on over. Go to my top view, go to X-ray view, Let's get rid of my type 2 visually so I can just focus on this. And let's go on and get inside. Now, I don't want to mess up the shape of my facer. If I start adding extra lines, which I've always noticed with Blender, is the shape starts to change a little bit. And it becomes hard to control these nice curvature that we've got here. So I think what I want to do is I may want to freeze this. Okay, I may want to freeze this. So let's go back out to object mode. Let's go here. Let's freeze this and see what we get. So to freeze it, I want to see if I can put my subdivision surfaces before my mirror and let's see if there will be any changes. If I drag that there and put it there, okay, it looks great. So I'm going to spin it around, make sure nothing's breaking. Okay. And I'm going to go to the subdivision surface modifier, right click on the little drop down menu and say apply. Now we got real geometry. Now it's going to hold the shape. It's not going to change. We've got what we want. Let's go add in our other details. Go into edit mode. We got real geometry. This is a good thing. So now I'm going to go to the top view, go to my X-ray view, and I'm going to come here and map out how I want this to look. Now, this may be more of a problem than I may realize. So I may have to go back the other way. My thought process and what I should have, well, let me see what I've got here before I make that decision. We grab this. And let's see what that looks like. Do I have room to move here? I don't. I don't have a lot of room. I'm going to have to change the subdivision level. So I'm going to play here, guys. I'm going to play here a little bit. I'm going to hit Control Z and go back. Take off this. I'm going to take the subdivision out of 3 and go to 2 and see what it looks like. That still looks good. And let me see if I apply this. I want to see what I get next. That's better. That's what I want. And I can still go and apply subdivision levels again to get the smoothness back if you're going to 3D print this, by the way. The reason I wanted the larger shapes here is because if I go to X-ray view and I go to the top view, I want some room to manipulate these edges. I may need to actually freeze it in a subdivision surface 1 view. So let's do that. I'm gonna undo again. Just gonna undo. I got subdivision surfaces back again. Come back and take a look at this. Okay, I'm back to my original. I'm gonna go to 1 there, like this. I'm not gonna stress out about the fact that I don't have the smooth edges because I can apply subdivision surfaces again and get them back. All right, so now let's try it this way. So let's go apply this and see what it looks like. Now go into edit mode. There we go. That's what I want. All right. That's what I want. So go to the top view, X-ray. Yeah, I can work with this edge here. I'm going to go edge editing mode, select this. And I really only care about this edge. So if I select this edge here, double click it, double G, and just move it to there. So that's going to outline this, double G this. double G this. I'm going to outline, that's going to outline this box back here. Okay. Now this edge here, I'm going to click this edge. And I'm going to go all the way to probably all I need is this edge here. So Shift and Control, and I can select all that edge right there. Okay. I'm going to have to flatten this out. I'm going to flatten this out on the x-axis. Let's see what happens. So scale X0. Let's see what it looks like, what it's going to give me here. Yeah, that's what I need. But I want to take a look at my shape. See, if you look, it's not going to mess up my shape. My shape is held because I applied those other shapes all around it. So it's going to hold it. So if I, for example, if I get out of here and go to object mode, see, nothing's being distorted. So that's a little sacrifice I'm going to have to make to actually model into this little piece here. So there is the beginning of the shape of my grid. So let me go back to the top. And this is different from the way that I initially chose to do this for the tutorial today, but I think this may work a little better. Okay, so with this selected, let's go to the top view once again. Alt-Z, X-ray mode. Okay, there. Here, I'm going to go grab this piece now, double-click it, double-G, and there we go. So if we take a look at this, get out of X-ray mode, here's my shapes in here. Oops, I want to be face editing mode. Let me rotate this a little bit. Okay, so here's my shape right there. See? There's the shape of my grid. Okay, so I need to duplicate this because I want this on its own layer. We're going to hit Shift D, right click, hit the P key for parts selection, go to my object mode. There she is right there. Let's call this one. This is going to be the, what do I call this? I call this the type 1. I think this is the target, because when you slide this upwards, a little windows back here, it looks like, I think that's your targeting mechanism. So I'm gonna call it targeting screen. Okay. All right, and as you can see, if I hit Shift H, hide everything else but that, I've got my little annotation down here, kind of get rid of it. I've got my shape that I need. And this shape is being mirrored. But we don't want that. We want this to be one complete shape. So I'm going to come over here to the mirror and simply say apply. So now when I go into edit mode, I've got that there. Okay, so I want to start messing with these a little bit. Double click these edges and let's scale them. So scale on the x-axis 0. Double click that. Scale on the x-axis 0. Oops, sorry. Accidentally moved that. There we go. We got some. So I want to make these as even as possible. Now there's a command in Blender, and it's supposed to space these out evenly. And if I right click and go to my loop tools, I should be able to go to space. Oh, I see. It did it the other way. Oh, all right. So maybe I want to go this way. And if I go right click, loop tool, space. Oh, okay. So that's working. So all I need to do is this. I need to go all the way to the end. Oops, sorry. Got to go here. Right click, space. It's a stupid way to work. There it is. Okay. And now we go the other way. All of them. We want them to be evenly spaced apart. Right click, loop tool, space. There. Okay. That's cool. All right, here we go. Now we're going to create some additional geometry in here. So I'm thinking maybe we do a subdivision. So here, subdivide, that looks good. Okay. It's not perfect, but I think we might want one more subdivision. Right click, subdivide. That'll work. I think that's going to work. And maybe a little too small. Let me take kind of. No, I don't know. Maybe a little too small. We'll just give it a try. I think it's too small. Let me go to Control Z. There, we'll go with this here. We need some space to keep to allow room to be flexible with these openings in here. We're going to right click on this and we're going to poke a hole in every single one of those faces. And that's right click. We're going to go down to poke faces. That's what that means. Poke a dot or an edge, a vertice in the middle of every face. And this is what we get. Now we want to tell Blender to take all those triangles and turn them to quads. And that's the shortcut is Alt J. Boom. See where we're going? And there's our pattern. So now I can use a modifier. I might want to duplicate this. Let me duplicate this just in case. I'm going to, let's see, targeting screen. I'm going to just go here and say Shift D to duplicate, just in case we screwed something up. And I'm going to turn it off temporarily. Okay, and then let's go with, and now we're going to use a modifier. Add a modifier. I think it's under Generate. And it's under, let's see, where was it? It was under Wireframe, I think it is. If I click it, there we go. That works. Now, what we can do also is play with the thickness. So basically my wireframes are too large, huh? So if I bring up the phaser, let's say Alt H. Yeah, mine's a little bit too large. Maybe I should go back to that smaller version. You can do that. So select that again and Alt Shift H. And let's see if I go Control Z. Control Z. Go to here. Okay. And then here, we'll simply right click, subdivide again. Now right click, poke faces. I'm doing it all over again. And then Alt J. There we go. Now we're going to go to object mode, and we're going to add our wireframe modifier. There we go. And adjust the thickness. There. That's more. That's better. There was an option in here, and it's a modifier. There's an option in here to keep. There we go, the boundaries. Select the boundary, and it keeps those edges. And I thought there was an option to keep the actual face. So let me scroll down. Relative, no, okay. Edge crease, let's see, what's this here? Material offset. Thought there was. Doesn't matter. We basically saved the face. So if we wanted to keep the face, that wasn't it. Where's my duplicate? There it is. The detail. There was the screen. I duplicated the screen. Disappeared. Oh, I undid it, didn't I? Okay, so no big deal. I'll just take this one now. I did the Control Z. I went back too far. Let me save this so I don't lose it. Go back to this. I'm going to just duplicate this. So Shift D, set it back. Now what I can do in that duplicate, which is right here, is just turn off that modifier, right? And you've got your flat base like this. So if you wanted to keep that, if you didn't want to keep that, you want to 3D print this, because this is going to be something you would 3D print separately. You can just, if you didn't want to keep it, you can embed it and probably print this as a separate piece. This will print easily on a 3D printer. Put it in a small 3D printer. Let it do the job while your bigger 3D printers are going to 3D print everything else. All right, we're making progress. So let's see, what time is it? It's about, I've got 4 minutes left. So Alt H. And I already screwed up with something because I was supposed to keep a part of this. A part of this was supposed to be clear. Darn it. See, I got excited in doing this and wasn't paying attention. That happens sometimes. Well, damn it. Okay, so let me see what I can do. I could resize this, but I'm not so sure how. If I come over here, right click, set origin to geometry. I don't know how well this is going to work like this. And if I just move it forward, no, crap. Okay, that's not very good. That's not very professional. I have to go back and do it all over again. I hate when that happens. Yeah, remember this. We go to X-ray mode, top view. This section here was supposed to be cleared out, open. So I've got to go back and do it again. And I can easily do it in 3 minutes. Might be a good review for everybody. Well, I've got the original one here, right? Let me see what that looks like. The original one, if we go to edit view, yeah, it's not going to help too much. So I'm going to have to delete both of these. I'm going to get rid of them. I want to do it right. I'm going to go back to my phaser type 1. Turn off the type 2. I don't need it. it should be off already anyway. So type 1, go over here, go to tab key, edit mode, and just go get those faces. So here, I'm going to avoid this back here. So I'm going to grab these. So we got to go to grab all these here. Select it like this. Go to the top view. Go to X-ray. There we go. That's right. That's what I want. That's all I needed. All right, Shift D, P. I'll do this in a couple minutes. Okay, we're gonna merge the mirror. We're gonna apply the mirror. Done. Go to let's duplicate this. Shift D. Okay. I got number 1, number 2. I'm gonna turn off the duplicate. Come on up to here. Let's go into edit mode. We're going to go to edge editing mode, and we're going to flatten this out. So scale X 0. Scale X 0. Okay. Now I'm going to do this. Select them all of these edges. If I grab these, or you can do it this way. Select this here, and then here, and then Shift plus 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 all of those, and then go to your select menu and select loop. Select similar, select edge loop, I think it's called. There it is right there. Select edge loop right there. Okay. Right click, loop, and we're going to go to spacing. Done. Now we're going to do the same thing here. 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 Shift and control all of these. Select loops, edge loop. Right click. Loop tools, space. There. So they're even. Now we go to the face editing mode. Select all, right click, subdivide, and I think we want to go more than 1, right? So subdivide 2 like this. That'll do it. The only thing that bugs me is, see how they stretch horizontal? I want them to stretch more vertical. So I'm going to undo this real quick, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I may have to manually do this. I may have to go and select R and just manually make all these verticals. Control R. You'll see why in just a moment. Okay, now we can go back and select all, right click, subdivide. Yeah, see how they stay vertical? And I'm going to go 2. Here, that works. Okay. You'll see why I did this in just a moment. Well, here, I'll show it to you. If you look at this, see the diamond shapes in here? They're more vertical, going up and down. Mine was going more horizontal. So I'm changing the shape, making it more vertical. I will face editing mode. Now I want to make sure, I think I want to duplicate this one as well, just for keepsake. So make sure type 1 detail, side there, type 1, there we go. That's number 2. And 1 there. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate that, Shift D, set it back. All right, we'll go back to this one, and I'm going to turn that one off. Okay. Come back in the edit mode. A key for select all, right click, poke faces. You know, before I do that, I want to do this just to make sure there's no mistakes. M key for merge to make sure there's no overlapping points I'm not aware of by distance, and it's 0 vertices, so that's good. I was just being nervous here. So now right click, poke faces, Alt J for quads to polys. There we go. See, now the diamonds are much more vertical oriented and less horizontal. Okay, we're all done. So I'm going to Shift H so we can just focus on this. And the last thing we're going to do today is go ahead and add a wireframe there. There we go. That's much better. That's what I'm looking for. And then mess with the thickness like this. Say boundary, close the boundary like so. You can 3D print this. Okay. All right. So let's just undo everything. Not undo, but unhide everything. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm gonna do one last thing. So let's go back to the phaser. Remember that little cube that we need to create that's going to be clear back here. I'm going to create that, and then we're going to let Karm take over. So we'll go back to here. There it is. That's all I need. It's right there. Don't need that one. Shift D, right click, and I copied it. P key to put it on its own layer. Go to object mode so I can go select that individual piece. Try and select the individual piece. And where did it go? So that would be the type 1 detail. Well, that'll be the type 1. Oh, wait a minute. I just had it. Just had it. Where did it put it under? Type 1. One. No, not these. These are the ones I turned off. There it is. Got it. Okay. Type 1 clear detail. I'm going to call this one clear cube. I'm going to push it up a little bit. I'm going to reduce it down just slightly, like this. Right click, cursor to geometry. Actually, what I need to do first before I do anything, I just hit undo on that. I want to come over here to the mirror and apply it. Now it's done. Now I'm ready to go. Now right click, cursor to origin, S key. Slightly different. Bring it in slightly on the inside because we're going to make an indentation in there. Bringing it up a little bit, modifier, and then just simply add, generate, and add a solidify. There we go. We can just bring it on down like so. And you can see in X-ray mode, it's going inside just a little bit. It will be something like this. Okay. That's it. I think we want to stop here and let Karm come on. Now we're going to finish up the rest next week by we're going to texture this out. We need to add just a few more details here. So we're going to come back and add that ridge detail to the side of the phasers. In fact, let's go back and take a look at the photograph. The hard part's done. So we're going to add these ridges here. It's going to be flush with the phaser. We're going to add the heat grids, the heat sink back here to the rear of the phaser. heat sink on the top right up here. So these here, these here. Need to add all this detail for the type 1 and this detail for the type 2. And one last thing is that for the handle. And then texture it. And it's going to look real. It's going to look photorealistic when we're done. Okay, cool. So Carm, you there?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Am I in trouble? What's this one? Okay. Carm, I don't hear you. I still
Testing
don't.
1, 2. You don't hear me?
Is it me? It could be me. Let me change my speaker system.
Testing.
And I'm going to change it over to that one. Okay, go ahead and say something now. Yes, I hear you now perfectly.
Okay.
All right, so everybody on the Twitch probably heard you, but I didn't. I'm having a speaker issue on my end here. So let's, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Go ahead and share your screen.
Okay.
And we're waiting for Carm to share his screen now. And no one has any questions on this? It's pretty straightforward.
You got me?
I have you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and adding you to the desktop now. There you go.
Okay. Well, actually, I've been modeling all while you were modeling. And I've been modeling a thumbstick. And it's for the program I'm about to show you.
Oh, that's cool.
I see this ridge is a little bit sharp. I'm going to modify that. So I'm going to go back here and undo that. Undo the lathe. Yeah, I'll spin that again after I make some tweaks. But let's look at the software first so you can see why I'm modeling a thumbstick. I don't remember what part you saw last of this. I was probably just showing you all this stuff on the options screen, like changing the colors and stuff like that, right?
I honestly don't remember.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, you can tweak you can make the.
Did you get the newest version of Lightwave yet?
No, I'm still on 2020.
Okay.
You can change the languages. See, now we're in Danish, Dutch, English. But I showed this. We can change the colors of buttons too. I showed this last time. Let's go here and show some new stuff in hardware config. Okay. Actually, that color is a little rusty.
And this is the interface that you designed?
Yeah.
Nice.
All this stuff was rendered in Lightwave. These two. And so it says basically make sure your device is plugged in that you want to use. Then we go here and I'll hit scan. My graphics have messed up. The shadows are lighter than the text. So there's something wrong there. I got to fix that. All right. So this is a list of all the USB devices I have plugged in. Not every single device. Oh, wait a minute. It is. This is my microphone's power supply right there. Huh. I didn't think that would be there, but it is. Not that I could use it because it just all it has is just stuff for the microphone. But anyway, this is my keyboard. So if I hit keys, you can see it flashes. And this is another keyboard that I have. It's not a full keyboard. It's a like one of those USB keypads. So I can press a button on that and it works. The blue activity light. And down here on the floor, I got my flight stick right there. Logitech Extreme 3D flight stick. And I also got the FlyDigi gamepad. So I can take one and hit store. I'm sorry, these. Let me change the color because that's bugging me. That looks better. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like. Let me scan that again. Okay, so I can store my flight stick and I can store my keypad. Okay, so it's saying I recommend pressing a button to confirm it works. You want to store it anyway? Yes, I know it works because we saw it earlier. See, you can hit it now. And that's pretty much all I would ever use. And then you can click on one and say configure, and you can change the color of it just for if you like how it looks when it's stored in your storage box. Let's go black. It's just picking random colors. White. All right, it doesn't want to give me black. That's nice. All right, it's going to be that way. Black came up a lot when I was doing it. Oh, there it is. Okay. And we'll pick white for the keyboard. There we go. And my controller has gold trim, so I like to pick the gold. There we go. And I can't do it yet, but we'll be able to rename these. And then there will be calibration controls down here when we scroll down, but I don't have that yet. That's why I'm modeling the flight stick right now. So let me close that. So basically what I want to do is you'll be able to, fiddle with the controls on your device. Like if I was using the joystick or the gamepad, and this would rotate kind of like that while you're doing it in real time. And I modeled that gamepad that you saw in the screenshot earlier. It looked like this, but it's meant to be seen from far away. So this one's a lot more detailed, and I want to model some more additional ridges just to pick up the specular highlights like we have over here. And you can see that we got those ripples in the center because that's what happens when you subdivide a lot of triangles that all merge together. So I'll deal with that right now. Actually, I'm going to model the ridges first, and then we'll deal with the star pattern. So I have the unlathed version right here. Whoops. There we go. So I'm going to model some extra details going down just so it picks up some nice highlights. That's interesting. Oh, it's because it's subdivided, it contracts a little bit. So something like that, a little bit thicker, I think. So if you're going to be contracting, I'm going to turn you off, subdivided. Now, when I hit subdivide, it's going to smooth this curve out like from here to here. So I don't want that. I want to have a little bit of a sharpness, which is why I added extra vertices near the corner to sharpen it up a little bit. Not too much, but and now because I remove the point here, this will look like a solid line. So I'm going to add another vertices right there to give a little bit of curvature. Now let me show you what I was talking about with Steven earlier that he did not want to do. So I'm going to go make sure I'm in origin mode here. I'm going to rotate this. Let's say 10 degrees. Just have to remember to do that because I'm going to rotate it back when I'm done. And then stretch it 400%. Now I have exaggerated my curves so I can see that while this does look pretty good, this does look a little bit flat. So I'm going to pull that down a little bit more. Same thing here. I can actually see it's going up and then going down. So do something like that. Same thing here. All right. And now scale that down to 25%, which is the opposite of 400%. And then rotate 10 degrees, negative 10. Not 1, 10. There we go. Let's extrude, or let's lathe that and see what it looks like now. In fact, I'll keep this old version. We'll put it on another layer. I like to back up a little bit when I lathe, so I'm very sure about my line being straight. There we go. Just make sure it's centered. All right. Flip the vertices, turn smoothing on. Here's the old version. Now we can compare and contrast them. Yeah, it looks like I got some center geometry that's turning it into a sinkhole down there. Well, it's imperceptible, but at least I know in my mind it's a little bit smoother. Maybe if I put the specular over it, it might be a little more obvious. Oops. Not so much. Oh well. If you're working on like vehicles or something like that, that's something I recommend trying to make sure your curves, your pre-subdivided geometry has a nice flow to it. I'm going to add one more of these lips because I like that a lot. I think if there was like one more, that would look really nice. Then we'll deal with the center bit. Oh, by the way, I intentionally made the center sphere a little smaller so that we can get greater rotation, because I want it to look more dramatic, more obvious, because typically with your gamepads, they don't rotate a whole lot, but I wanted to exaggerate that look for the interface. All right, so let's go back here and add one more of those lip thingies. I'm going to go 7 degrees. In fact, just to make sure I got the same size, I'm just going to copy these points. That way I can be assured that, these two lips are the exact same thickness and height and all that. And we've been fused. All right. Let's see, I'm going to rotate this again, -7 degrees to restore that. And that's good. How much did I go there? 16, okay. $16. All right. Now I got a really good feel for the curvature. Look at that one. That was terrible.
Could you use more of a spline for this outer edge here?
Yeah, I suppose I could.
That way it keeps some curvature to it all.
Well, it's going to be subdivided. So that's going to smooth things out. All right, let's restore that. 25. And then, oops. -16.
Huh.
Now we're back. Let's spin it. See what it looks like.
Add that spin. Did it spin it yet? Oh, there it is. Now it is.
Yep. Gotta get rid of these polygons on the bottom here.
Yeah, I remember this tool. It used to be one of my favorites in Lightwave, the spin tool.
The lathe tool. That looks really nice. Oh, we still got those centered
I used to
polygons.
love lathing everything.
Sounds like a personal problem to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm wondering if the reason why we got those center polygons, yeah, it looks like these are not perfectly in the center.
It's got to be perfect.
Oops. Remove polygons. Okay, so the center bits are gone now. Oh, that's some weird. All right, it just. Actually, the star pattern is remarkably subtle now, but I'm loving the other details. I do see a little bit of a hole in the center right there. I don't know if that's picking up on your end. There's certainly a hole in my end. So what I'll do is I'll fix that by creating different geometry and stuff, so that it does not have a bunch of triangles there. I'm going to get a little glass of water or a sip of water.
You got to have that water. Always keep it handy right next to the microphone.
That's better. All right. So that's weird that oh, I bet you what's going on is that these are quads. Yep, 16 points there. Now they're all one. Now they're going to be more of a star pattern. Yep. Big time. So let's fix that. I'm going to copy that, put that on another layer. Oh, it looks like I only copied a single polygon. Do I have 2-point polygons there? I do. Where is that? Oh, weird. Remove. Okay. Copy. Paste. Let me save my object too. All right. Yeah, I've copied to another layer because I'm going to freeze it. Okay. I'm going to center this guy up here and here. Let me compare this to the non-subdivided version. Let's see what gets to the closest match. Actually, before I do that, I want to just select these guys and hide the rest. There we go. Yeah. Okay, now I can see what gives me a good match. I mean, it's not going to be perfect no matter what I do, but should we go at 5? Yeah, I guess so. Doesn't really matter. I'll make it work either way. Except it's not going to work down there. All right. So I'm going to go back to my frozen layer in the background. And I'm going to use Heat Shrink Plus, which is a third-party plugin from Third Powers. I guess I'll just do normal. Oh, wait, 0 offset. Okay. So basically, I'm going to do a best guess as far as like what fits the this geometry with this geometry. And I'm going to do that by, okay, I don't need you anymore. I don't think. I'm just going to work with one corner and then we'll mirror it to restore everything. Oops, thought we had them all disconnected. Guess not. All right. Obviously, the my choosing 5 does not give me a perfect center line, but that's okay. Let's go background conform, so he'll line up with that. Oh, of course, yeah. This is not going to be perfect, but we'll do the stretch trick again later to make sure it looks good. It's because I was using the frozen version, which is contracted because it's subdivided. So it doesn't really matter. Let's just get rid of these. Now I can see it. All right. So these, I guess we'll, just for now, I'll put some triangles there. It won't be permanent, but I'm just going to stretch this, see what it looks like. So yeah, I can see I got some ripples there that we have to fix. Big time ripples. I'm being careful when I'm in this mode, this stretched mode. I'm being careful to only move things along the up and down, along the y-axis. Otherwise, you're going to get like strange results, unpredictable results when you stretch it back down. So, does this look good? Seems to be an issue here. Actually, if I turn it, yeah, there is definitely an issue here. Is it 2 points? Yeah, it is 2 points. All right, this might be pretty good. Obviously, we got 2 triangles there, which is not ideal, but we also have, this is fun. We got triangle here, but we also have a triangle here and a triangle here. So we can merge these into being 2 quads. Isn't that handy?
It's like merge it, baby.
Well, I was just thinking when I mirror everything, that's not going to be, well, it's just not going to be symmetrical. That's all. It probably doesn't matter.
All right. Well, you're going to end up putting another loop right up like on that top left hand corner.
I'm just going to get rid of this.
Yeah, you can end up put another loop straight on up to keep them quads.
I'm going to just mirror this now and see what we can do with everything merged like this.
Okay.
So I just merged my points. So I know I got some doubled up polygons there. So I'm going to go here, refine. Oh, I'm sorry, reduce. Unify polygons. Here it is. 13 polygons removed. Oh, we got to align them too. There we go. Looks like the Holy Grail. All right. So I could merge this with this, but that would still leave one triangle here, which is not terrible. Yeah, we got the 1 point there left from when I did that. think what I might do is like move this like that and just see. I am cheating my rule here a little bit about not moving on the y-axis. That looks fairly decent. Whoops. I'm going to turn on the cage and guides. Oh, okay. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip these so I can look at them from this side. We are breaking all the rules today.
Yeah, I ended up getting a little messy there, huh?
Well, I only have to do this on one side, then I can just replicate it.
Okay.
There's a little bit of a lump here. I'm sorry, I keep having to select things multiple times. I flip the left and right mouse buttons on my mouse because my mouse is dying and I keep forgetting which one's which. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let me turn off my guides. This one looks a little bit sunken in here.
There's more.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect, but once it gets squished down to the original shape, it will look really smooth, I think. I like to sometimes just, you saw how I brought this to the center, kind of reduces the tension. All right. Not too bad there. Yeah, it's pretty good. In fact, what I'll do right now is I'll squish this down just to see how it looks in the one corner. Obviously, the rest of it looks terrible, but oops. Not too bad. Not absolutely machine perfect, but certainly improved. I think once it's rendered, no one will be the wiser. So I'll take these guys here, copy that. -90, apply. There. They don't line up perfectly, but they're close. We can just average weld them. So that means, let's see. Yeah. Whoops. I don't think I should have done that. Yeah, I want to keep the center bit. I want to get rid of these. Oops. Oh, come on. I guess I had doubled up polygons there. All right. So if I just do some F6s, I have weld average assigned to F6 for my config. I think that might be everybody. Let's go to unify polygons. That looks pretty good. Oh, we do have some points here that did not get merged because maybe they're not perfectly on the x-axis or whatever. So we'll just scale these down. Now they're merged. See if there's any stragglers. Something going on here. And there's something going on there. Let's try that again. let's do it this way. That worked. All right. Now what's going on here? Maybe a double polygon or something. Two points here. Single point, single point. Okay, that's probably fixed now. Yeah. I mean, there is a little bit of imperfections in there, but it's pretty good. I could probably just take this point and do a little point normal move on it, bring it up just a little bit. Yeah, it looks a little better. Same thing right here. That's good enough. Save it. Okay, so that's, I guess we'll fix this real quick. This lip was looking too sharp, so I'm just gonna take these points here and just move them down like this. Ah. See what that looks like. I don't know how much time I have. I was thinking it might be fun to use, what's it called? Heat shrink plus to put some like arrows on each corner, like the cardinal directions.
Well, we're actually past time. It's 15
Okay.
minutes past 1. So I save that for next week.
Well, it's going to be done by then. Let's
Need by then. You just save this for your guests, and then you can finish that up.
You want to just see what it looks like when I lathe it?
Well, I can give you 5 more minutes if you want 5 more minutes.
Okay.
I think we're losing people because people are going outside to play.
To play? What is it? Summertime?
It's summertime. And the sun's coming out right now where I am, and
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
I'm going bike riding.
I like that. Yeah, I'll just put. I might put some heat shrink arrows, one on each corner. That'd look kind of cool. But it looks nicely detailed. The ridges look nice. They'll catch the speculars when it rotates.
Okay.
I like it. You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. Nice. Good job. Thank you for sharing. It's always nice to see modeling techniques in Lightwave. It's a nice comparison to how Blender work functions.
It's basically the same.
It's the same in almost all
It's all points and vertices. And
all software like this.
But by next time, you'll see this animated on the screen when I move my controller around. That should be fun.
Cool. Looking forward to it.
What I'm
So-
planning on doing is I'm going to render the. Well, wait a minute. I'm going to split this up into a separate object. So this part, when I rotate the controller, this will move. Excuse me. This will move with the like in real time. It's not going to be pre-rendered images, and then the other stuff will be pre-rendered rotations, and so you'll get. This will be a little stair-steppy, but the other part will be completely smooth. So it should look pretty cool.
Okay.
Because you'll get the best of both worlds. You get like nicely rendered shadows, but also smooth movement. So to be continued.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you so very much. That was great. And thank you everybody for being here. Let me kind of turn this little screen on. Cool. All right. Actually, my face isn't showing up. For some reason, my camera just stopped working. I'll probably need to reboot my system. But
maybe it's because I hit stop sharing.
No, it's not your fault. It's the system's fault. So yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back with more Blender next week, Friday. And especially with the phaser, we're going to finish up. We're going to texture this. We'll add a little extra details, which will be quick and easy. We'll be using a lot of shrink wrap techniques on this model for the little details that's going to be on the surface of the phaser. We'll model out the rest of the detail for the handle, and of course the rest of the detail for the phaser type 1. And we're going to render this. We're going to texture it and render this so it actually is going to have a photorealistic appearance.
Not a single person watching typed anything in the chat. It was just me.
Well, it's been that way for the past few weeks. It's like either we're really good at doing what we're doing, or people just don't have questions, or maybe they're just getting better at Blender. But I remember we used to get a lot of interaction with people, and lately it hasn't been a lot of interaction. People are just watching, or sometimes we wonder if people turn on and start watching the broadcast, and then they decide to take off and go do something, so they're still connected, but they're not actually there.
They're multitasking.
In fact, one guy that I spoke to, I met at the International Photography Exhibition, says he was on our Blender broadcast as well, but he was there. He just didn't say anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's going to be more lurkers than anybody else, but I'm just surprised it was only me this time. It's normally mostly me and a couple people.
Yeah, well, usually the people that talk the most aren't here today. So, what was that one? Mac. Let me see who's on here now. Honey Ray is here. He kind of spoke earlier, and then there's the others. I figured that normally talk. They're not here today, so
yeah.
So that's all right.
Talking.
That's all right. As long as people are enjoying the broadcast. And it's worth it for me to do it because it helps me to get better at what I'm doing too. Especially my teaching style and my presentation style, it helps. So, all right. So I'm going to close out. Everybody have a great weekend. And I'm going to end the stream and